We had agreed to register our marriage on that day. But I waited all morning and Suyao never showed up. I called Suyao many times, but no one answered. I frantically searched for her, only to suddenly receive a photo from Suyao's assistant, Gu Chong. In the photo, Suyao and Gu Chong were lying in a hotel bed, fast asleep. Mr. Lin. Miss Su worked late last night and slept very late. I'd like to let her sleep a little longer. I'll have her call you back when she wakes up. Okay. I stared at the message and a ringing sound filled my ears. My world seemed to lose all color. Sir, are you all right? The staff member steadied me as I swayed unsteadily. After a long while, I finally calmed down. After the heart-wrenching pain, my feelings for Suyao crumbled to dust at that moment. I picked up my phone and replied to Gu Chang's message that no need. Let the trash stay in the trash can. Returning to the company, I walked straight to my office, turned on the computer, and typed into the document, resignation application. With each keystroke, memories surged forward like a raging tide, uncontrollable and overwhelming. 3 years ago, after Suyao took over the Su Group, suppliers no longer trusted her and adopted a wait-and-see attitude toward continuing cooperation. Some projects stalled and the funding chain was on the verge of breaking. She was so anxious she didn't know what to do. At that time, deeply in love, I unhesitatingly joined the Su Group to turn around the company's declining situation. I leveraged my professional expertise to lead the development of a new product with strong market competitiveness. During this process, I negotiated with key suppliers until late at night, securing more favorable cooperation terms, and ultimately succeeded in attracting a powerful investor to fund the company. Eventually, the company overcame the crisis. This turnaround became widely known in the industry, and Suyao became a renowned iron lady in the business world. At the celebration party, I gathered my courage and proposed to Suyao, who tearfully accepted. At that moment, I felt like the happiest person in the world, but I don't know when it started. Suyao changed. Her smile became less frequent, and her gaze grew sharper. Under the adoration of the outside world, she became addicted to the feeling of being looked up to, gradually enjoying the power of controlling everything. When discussing plans, she no longer listened carefully to my analysis, often dismissing my ideas with an unquestionable coldness in her tone. She even downplayed our relationship at the company, justifying it as avoiding suspicion. In contrast, Suyao's attitude toward the new assistant, Gu Chong, was completely different. Gu Chong was a newly hired college graduate who often made mistakes at work. Instead of blaming him, Suyao would gently comfort him every time. At first, I didn't notice anything was wrong. It wasn't until Suyao started frequently taking Gu Chong out, doing things like watching movies and going to amusement parks, activities that went beyond mere friendship, that I realized their relationship seemed to have crossed a line. I tried to remind Suyao and Gu Chong to keep their distance, reminding them that I was her boyfriend, but each time, it only led to arguments. Until today, when Suyao stood me up on the day we were supposed to get our marriage certificate for Gu Chong, I finally realized it was time for me to let go. The printed resignation letter was still warm when the office door was suddenly and unexpectedly pushed open with a swish. Suyao stood at the doorway, coldly saying, "Lin E, conference room, meeting now." Before she finished speaking, she had already turned and walked away. I placed my resignation letter on the desk and walked into the meeting room, only to find that most of the company's mid to senior management had already arrived. "I have an announcement to make," Suyao said, her gaze sweeping across the room, her voice carrying an unyielding authority. Given that Assistant Gu Chong has demonstrated outstanding performance recently, particularly showing potential in handling market information feedback and client communication, I have decided to promote Gu Chong to Deputy Director of the Marketing Department, assisting Director Lin in his work. As soon as she finished speaking, everyone in the meeting room exchanged bewildered glances. How long had Gu Chong been here? What achievements had he made? He'd only been doing menial tasks like serving tea and taking meeting minutes. How could he suddenly be promoted to Deputy Director? This promotion was like riding a rocket. Hearing this, Gu Chang's face lit up with surprise and nervousness. He bowed slightly to everyone. Thank you, Director Su, for your trust. I still lack experience, and I will continue to learn from all of you in the future. I let out a cold snort. I worked hard for 3 years just to become the director of the marketing department. Now, with just a few words, Su Yao has promoted her little puppy to the position, truly trying to disgust me. As if hearing my snort, Su Yao turned her gaze to me and said in a commanding tone, Director Lin, you have extensive experience. Takes time for a newcomer to settle in. Just in time for the new product launch in 3 days. You should guide him more. I refuse. The marketing department doesn't need a sycophantic green tea who only knows how to flatter. My tone carried a coldness I had never shown before. The conference room fell completely silent. No one expected that I, who always endured Su Yao's demands without resistance, would so ruthlessly reject her in public this time, and in such a sharp manner. Gu Cheng's face instantly turned pale, and his eyes quickly reddened, as if he had suffered a great injustice. I know Director Lin has some misunderstandings about me. Please give me a chance. Director Lin, I will study hard and live up to President Su's expectations. Seeing this, Su Yao's eyes filled with heartache. She took out a tissue to wipe Gu Cheng's tears, then turned to look at me, her pretty face cold as frost. Lin Yi, come to my office. Su Yao's voice seemed to carry a storm. I stood up without expression and followed Su Yao out of the meeting room. As soon as we entered the office, Su Yao's tone unexpectedly softened. Lin Yi, I know you're upset about what happened this morning. I forgot about going to the Civil Affairs Bureau. It's because I had a very important client to meet this morning, and I couldn't cancel it. You know I'm doing this for the company, for our future. There's no rush to get the certificate. Once this busy period is over, we can pick another auspicious day and get it then. Even if you have grievances, direct them at me alone. Don't bring your emotions into the workplace. How ironic. I never expected to hear Su Yao's gentle words again, only to find them filled with lies, and all for the sake of another man. Su Yao, being with Gu Cheng has really improved your acting skills. You don't even blush when you lie. I gave Su Yao a thumbs up. Lin Yi, you don't believe me. Su Yao panicked at my words, but her mouth remained stubborn. I handed the phone to Su Yao, exposing her lie. Wow, our CEO. Su must have worked so hard, meeting clients all the way to the bed. Such dedication really leaves me in the dust. Su Yao glanced down at the image on the screen, a flicker of panic flashing in her eyes as she hurriedly tried to explain. I was working overtime too late, so Gu Cheng took me to a hotel. We stayed in separate rooms and nothing happened. I didn't tell you because I was afraid you'd overthink it. Think about how many times we've argued just because of your insecurity. I'm already exhausted from all the fighting. President Su's sophistry skills are truly admirable. No wonder she's called the Iron Lady of the business world. This sarcastic remark hit Su Yao's sore spot with pinpoint accuracy, like a spark landing in boiling oil, instantly igniting her anger. Lenny, don't go too far. This personnel transfer is me informing you, not discussing it with you. You don't have the right to refuse. In the past, I was always the most afraid of Su Yao getting angry. Every time she got upset, I would do everything I could to make her feel better. But at this moment, I just looked at her calmly, feeling a deathly stillness as if the dust had settled. At least while I'm the marketing director, if you dare transfer Gu Cheng over, I'll have 100 ways to deal with him. I waved my hand, unwilling to continue talking with Su Yao, and walked out of her office. Bang. Something, I don't know what, was thrown by Su Yao against the door, making a loud noise. The reason I didn't resign immediately was because 3 days later was the Su Group's new product launch event. Although I no longer have feelings for Su Yao, this product embodies months of hard work from the entire team, and I couldn't bear to see such a gem go unnoticed. Therefore, I decided to confront Su Yao 3 days later and leave for good. Back in the office, I discovered that the resignation letter on my desk had mysteriously vanished. I didn't think much of it and continued preparing the materials needed for the launch event. After work, I returned to our wedding apartment with Su Yao and began packing my luggage. There wasn't much that belonged to me here, mostly professional books. some cherished industry materials, a few suits I often wore, and a small number of personal items. The room's homely decorations were almost entirely marked with Su Yao's personal touch. Just as I was halfway through packing, the sound of a password lock clicking open and hurried high heels echoed from the entrance. I paused, my brows furrowing slightly. Su Yao rarely came back at this time. "Linny, where are you? I'm hungry. Do we have anything to eat at home?" Su Yao's voice came through. I set the suitcase aside and walked out. Oh, what wind has brought our ever-busy President Su back to the cold palace? "All right, Linny, stop being so sarcastic. It's been a day, so you should have cooled off by now. I want to eat the sweet and sour spare ribs you make. Cook them for me today." Yeah. Every time we argued in the past, I would process my emotions on my own, and then Su Yao would give me an opening like this, and I would gladly return to her embrace. Over time, she took it for granted. "Sorry, I haven't cooked at home in a long time. If you want to eat, order takeout yourself." I have no interest in catering to her. Su Yao frowned tightly. "Can you speak properly? You weren't like this before. You never seemed willing to listen when I tried to talk things out before." I leaned back on the sofa, a mocking expression on my face. "You always had that sour look on your face every time. Su Yao was so angry she could hardly speak, and after a long pause, she finally stood up and walked to the kitchen. A moment later, Su Yao came out holding 2 buckets of instant noodles, smiling and saying, "You don't know how to take care of yourself when I'm not around." With the press conference approaching, our marketing director can't go hungry. Staring at the 2 cups of instant noodles, I fell into a memory, back when the Su family was in crisis. Su Yao and I worked day and night, and what I ate most often were the instant noodles she made for me at the time. I even joked that I would never get tired of eating her instant noodles for a lifetime. Su Yao saw the gentle expression on my face and couldn't help but say, "I know you have a misunderstanding about Gu Chong, but believe me, he's a good kid. Just give him a chance." So, it was still about Gu Chong. "Su Yao, you heartless person, not even letting me stay in this beautiful memory for a little longer. Let him come to the marketing department again in 3 days." I didn't want to argue with her anymore, so I set a deadline. Anyway, by then, I wouldn't be around anymore, and it wouldn't be up to me. Anyway, I knew my boyfriend would be the most understanding. Su Yao cheered up and couldn't help but plant a kiss on my face. "I'm exhausted after a long day. My shoulders are killing me. Hurry back inside and give me a massage. I've really missed your technique." Su Yao was in high spirits. She stood up, stretched, and then headed toward the house. I wiped away her lipstick mark with disgust, my gaze as cold as frost. "Linny, what do you mean by this?" Su Yao dragged out the half-packed suitcase I had been organizing since Su Yao found out. I might as well lay my cards on the table. "It's nothing. Su Yao, let's break up." Upon hearing this, Su Yao laughed. "Gu Chong, you're a grown man using such a trick. Isn't it embarrassing?" I was about to say more when Su Yao's phone rang. Su Yao answered the call, and Gu Chang's anxious voice faintly came through. "Su, I'm sorry. I messed up the documents you asked me to organize. What should I do?" "Don't worry. I'll be right there." Su Yao's tone was full of patience and gentleness. "It's fine if they're messy. The backups are still there. Stay where you are, and don't try to fix it yourself. I'll come right away to help you sort it out." As Su Yao reached the door, she suddenly remembered me and pointed at my luggage, saying, "Whatever it is, wait until I get back. You better not do something childish like running away from home. I don't have time to deal with your tantrums." Watching Su Yao's two-faced demeanor, I let out a light, cold laugh filled with endless bitterness. In the end, I never waited for Su Yao to return. I pulled my suitcase and left this already cold home without a trace of nostalgia. For the next 3 days, I was busy at the company with the new product launch event. However, I never expected that on the night before the launch event, I would receive Su Yao's handwritten resignation letter. "Linny, President Su has approved your resignation. You can start packing up your things and get ready to leave." Gu Chong waved the resignation letter in front of me with Su Yao's neat signature in the designated spot. You won't need to attend tomorrow's new product launch event, either. Su Yao knows how important tomorrow's launch is to me. She wouldn't agree to my resignation at this time. There must be something fishy going on here. It seems Assistant Gu is planning to make a name for himself with this launch event. I looked up calmly at Gu Chong. Gu Chong, having his little scheme exposed by me, showed no trace of shame. Instead, he wore a smug expression. Don't worry. I'll prove that I'm no worse than you. Then I'll be looking forward to Assistant Gu's perfect performance tomorrow. I calmly began packing my belongings, moving neither too hastily nor too slowly, composed and unhurried. Now that this product has been fully designed and I have overseen every aspect, it is ready to be successfully launched. As for Gu Chong wanting to take advantage, I'm not worried at all because he doesn't have the capability yet. By the way, too, thank you for helping me sort this out. I waved the resignation letter in my hand. I'll give you some advice. Gu Chang's eyes lit up upon hearing this. Remember to bring some diapers to tomorrow's press conference. I'm afraid you might pee your pants from fear. At the scene of the Su Group's new product launch, the lights were dazzling and media crews with cameras and microphones gathered. The air filled with anticipation and excitement. Yet, as the absolute central figure, I was nowhere to be seen. In the backstage lounge, Su Yao paced back and forth, repeatedly dialing my number, only to hear the cold female voice. The subscriber you dialed is currently unavailable. Time passed minute by minute, with almost all the guests having taken their seats. The warm-up music before the official start of the press conference had already begun to play. President Su. It seems President Lin might be delayed by something. Why not let me take over? Gu Chong seized the opportunity to recommend himself. Seeing Su Yao's hesitation, Gu Chong patted his chest and assured her. Don't worry, President Su. I've studied the presentation materials and core product parameters prepared by President Lin in great detail many times over. All right. Su Yao took a deep breath. Given the circumstances, there was no choice but to push forward. Gu Chong, you go up. Just focus on the core performance and advantages of the product. Make sure it's concise and accurate. Mr. Su, rest assured. A glimmer of light flashed in Gu Chang's eyes as he nodded firmly, picked up the meticulously prepared materials, adjusted his well-tailored new suit, and walked out with his chest puffed out and head held high. The flash bulbs instantly illuminated Gu Chong. He wore a proper smile on his face, his gaze sweeping across the audience, feeling as though the entire world was now focused on him. This was the moment he had dreamed of. Our new Starlight smartphone series adopts an industry-leading hyperdimensional drive architecture. Through algorithm optimization and hardware synergy, it has improved computing efficiency by over 80% in core application scenarios. Meanwhile, power consumption has been reduced by 20% in typical usage scenarios. Gu Chong spoke fluently, his voice clear and strong, explaining product specifications, technical highlights, and market positioning in a logical and organized manner. He even added some forward-looking analyses not mentioned in Lin Yu's materials, which sounded quite impressive, earning nods from the media below and a continuous flash of cameras. In front of the backstage monitoring screen, Su Yao's tense nerves relaxed slightly, and she looked at Gu Chong with unstoppable admiration. Amidst the enthusiastic applause, Gu Chong concluded his speech segment, standing on the stage with a sense of pride and satisfaction. Next came the journalist Candace session. You mentioned that Star Glory's goal is to capture the high-end business market. Yet the product pricing is 15% higher than the flagship product of its main competitor, Ching Wan Company. How does Su Group plan to bridge this significant gap between the pricing strategy and market expectations through specific, innovative marketing approaches or channel strategies? Is it solely relying on brand premium? Well, Gu Chong was taken aback by the question. He had no clue about the basis for the pricing strategy and could only muster some empty words, saying, "We are confident that through the company's efforts, we can overcome these disadvantages. Your company's Xing Yao phone uses the latest Qing Long chip, but currently only one company, T, can supply this chip stably worldwide. It is rumored that T's main production lines have recently been affected by a scandal, causing a sharp drop in capacity. How does Su Group ensure sufficient stock for the key launch period and stable subsequent supply for the Xingyao series? I assure everyone that the supply for Xingyao is absolutely not a problem, Gu Chang said, wiping his forehead. Then, questions from the reporters came one after another. Gu Chang, who had only memorized the PowerPoint presentation, was completely unable to handle so many tricky questions. Before long, he was sweating profusely and looked utterly flustered. The atmosphere at the scene suddenly turned sour. Journalists looked at each other, confusion and dissatisfaction beginning to spread. Su Yao, her face pale with anger, stepped onto the stage and picked up the microphone. We sincerely apologize. Due to unforeseen circumstances, this press conference is hereby concluded. If you have any questions, we will organize an online candid session later to address your concerns. Thus, the entire press conference ended abruptly in an awkward and anticlimactic atmosphere. The sharp tapping of high heels echoed, revealing Su Yao's fury at that moment. Lin Yi, you have to give me an explanation. Su Yao pushed open the door to my office in anger, only to find it completely empty. Only a pot of sunflowers she had bought for me remained quietly on the windowsill. The language of sunflowers is faith and loyalty, representing our love that remains steadfast and true. Her own words echoed in her ears, and a sudden wave of intense unease gripped Su Yao's heart. Su Yao hurried to the HR director's office and asked, her voice carrying a barely noticeable tremble, "Manager Li, what happened to Lin Yi's office?" Manager Li was startled by the president's expression and respectfully replied, "Artisu. Director Lin has officially completed his resignation procedures." What? Su Yao was struck as if by lightning. When did this happen? Don't I need to approve my resignation application? But you've already signed it. The documents were personally delivered by Assistant Gu yesterday. The HR manager nervously handed the resignation letter to Su Yao. Su Yao looked at her own signature and remembered that yesterday, Gu Chang had brought a pile of documents for her to sign. In the process, Gu Chang kept expressing his admiration for her, which distracted her so much that she signed the documents without even carefully reading the contents. I never expected that, among those documents, there would be Lin Yi's resignation letter tucked inside. A chilling cold shot from the soles of her feet straight to the top of her head. Su Yao felt as if the world was spinning around her. Seeing that the situation was turning sour, Gu Chang quickly stepped forward to admit his mistake, putting on a pitiful expression as he said, "Boss Su, it's all my fault for being careless and not reminding you about the contents of the documents." According to past practice, every time Gu Chang played the pity card, he would receive Su Yao's concern, thus avoiding the punishment that came with making a mistake. But this time, things did not go as Gu Chang had anticipated. Su Yao's eyes were bloodshot as she delivered a sharp, ear-piercing slap across Gu Chang's face. "How dare you?" Su Yao's voice was distorted and shrill with extreme anger, completely devoid of her usual calmness. "I'm not a fool. Don't think I don't know what you're up to. Please calm down. Ms.Su. Would you like to go home and check?" The HR manager, a long-time employee, was aware of my relationship with Su Yao. "Yes, go home. Lin Yi must be waiting for me at home." Su Yao drove back impatiently, and as she recalled how I had packed my suitcase a few days ago, her unease grew stronger. Hurrying into the house, she found it just like the office at work. Every single one of my belongings had vanished. No way. Lin Yi loves me so much. He wouldn't just leave me like this. He must be playing some mind game, trying to make me chase him. Su Yao forced herself to calm down, trying to reassure herself. Next, she dialed Gu Cheng's number and issued a death command. "Find out where Lenny is, or you won't be coming back either." While the Su family was holding their press conference, I was watching the live broadcast in the airport VIP lounge. Seeing Gu Chang mess up the press conference, I can't say my heart was completely unmoved. So, I stood up, clenched my fists, my body trembling, and in the end, I couldn't help but laugh. "Serves you right, Su Yao. Let's see what kind of person your beloved naive sweetheart really is." Haha! A burst of laughter came from nearby, and I turned to look, only to see a familiar figure also holding a phone. laughing heartily. Hey, be mindful of your manners in public places, I said irritably. Lin Wanqing turned around at the sound, and upon seeing me, the smile on her face froze instantly, followed by a classic eye roll. Lenny, what are you doing here? I knew something bad was going to happen. My right eyelid kept twitching all day. Lin Wanqing is the CEO of Qing Wang Company, which is in competition with Suyao Su Corporation. Over the years, the two companies have been fiercely competing. With my help, Su Corporation has consistently won more than it has lost, which is why Lin Wanqing always bristles like a kitten whenever she sees Suyao and me. Wait, that's odd. Why are you here? Director Lin, shouldn't you be at Su Corporation's press conference? Lin Wanqing suddenly realized. I glanced at her phone and saw that she was also watching the live broadcast of the press conference. I'm happy to. What's it to you? I closed my eyes to rest. Ignoring her. Unexpectedly, Lin Wanqing leaned in, wearing an annoying expression. Did they, couple, have a fight? Or does Suyao have someone else? Spill it. I want to hear something good. The truth is a sharp blade. Hurt. I couldn't be bothered with her and simply let her words go in one ear and out the other. Lin Wanqing scoffed. And stopped trying to stir up trouble. I don't know how much time had passed before I was awakened by a commotion. Mississippi, you really can't go in. Please leave immediately. I opened my eyes and saw Suyao forcefully push aside the airport staff who were trying to stop her barging into the lounge. Linny, have you had enough of this? Come back with me. Suyao's hair was somewhat disheveled and she stared at me intently. I'm sorry. A mess, Su, but I've already resigned. I made my position clear. Linny, you're just throwing a tantrum because I've been getting too close to Guchong. Suyao lowered her voice. I promise you, I'll keep my distance from him from now on. Is that okay? Don't be like that. I actually really like the two of you as a couple. I'm begging you both to lock it in. I said with a smile. Linny, don't push it too far. The press conference was a disaster. I need you now. I'm begging you. Come back to me. Suyao tried to grab my arm. I didn't hesitate to shake off her hand, though the force wasn't strong. My refusal was resolute. Suyao, there's nothing between us anymore. Please don't bother me again in the future. Upon hearing this, Suyao's face turned pale and her tone finally carried a hint of pleading. Linny, you're lying to me. You once promised to take care of me for a lifetime. Have you forgotten? Let your little assistant take care of you instead. I'm not good at it anyway. I remained unmoved. How many times do I have to say it for you to believe me? I only see Guchong as a younger brother. Suyao began to grow somewhat hysterical. I took out my phone and played a video I'd asked a friend to obtain for Suyao. The video showed that the night before they got their marriage certificate, Guchong and Suyao had entered a hotel room together, and they didn't come out until noon the next day. Is this what you mean by staying in two separate rooms with nothing happening? No, that's not it. Listen to me. This doesn't prove anything happened between us. Suyao. I stared at her, word by word, peeling away her hypocritical facade. From the moment you agreed to let another man stay alone with you in a room all night, what happened in that room no longer matters to me. Do you understand? Suyao's face drained of color, as if her deepest secret had been exposed. Flustered and angry, she blurted out in defense. What do you know? If only you needed me a little more, relied on me a little more, instead of always being so dazzling and sharp-edged, making me feel needed, too. Why would I have turned to him for comfort? At that moment, I understood. Suyao had long been infatuated with the feeling of being admired and depended on. The achievements I had worked so hard to attain to support and protect her were, in her eyes, nothing more than a threat she couldn't fully control. Guchong, who seemed fragile, had instead ignited her increasingly inflated desire to protect and control. I felt as if my entire worldview had collapsed. So being too good has become my original sin. This logic is truly touching. Suyao, if you're overflowing with maternal love, I suggest you go to an orphanage and adopt a good boy instead of going through all this trouble digging through the trash heap for scum like Guchong. Linny, you bastard. Suyao trembled with rage. All her attempts at pleading, showing weakness, and compromising shattered to pieces in that moment. Don't think I can't survive without you. Without you, the Su group can still move forward just fine. Oh, is that so? A deeper mocking smile spread across my face mixed with a sense of relief as I pulled my suitcase. Then I wish you all the best. The last sentence was light as a feather, yet it felt like a resounding slap across the face. I pulled my suitcase along walking past Su Yao without even glancing sideways. But I accidentally caught sight of Lin Wanqing in the corner, the renowned CEO of Qinggong munching on sunflower seeds while watching Su Yao and me. Those beautiful almond-shaped eyes sparkled with a delight in stirring up trouble, clearly treating the drama between Su Yao and me as top-tier entertainment to go with her meal. I boarded the plane, took my seat, and had just fastened my seatbelt ready to close my eyes and shut out the world. But I heard Lin Wanqing's voice coming from the next room. I really need to check the almanac today. Seems like my luck is at its worst. My head started to ache even more. During the flight, I noticed the person beside me kept glancing at me, unable to bear it any longer. I opened my eyes and found myself staring right into her big eyes brimming with "I want gossip. I want to know" in her expression, as if she was about to burst from holding back what she wanted to say. "Ask whatever you want. Don't let your body get sick from holding it in," I said somewhat helplessly. Hearing this, Lin Wanqing's eyes instantly lit up and she leaned forward slightly. "Really? Then I'm not going to hold back. Hurry, hurry. Tell me honestly, what kind of sordid and explosive drama happened between you, Su Yao, and that legendary little white flower goo who supposedly had her completely head over heels? Are you still the decisive and no-nonsense leader of Qinggong?" Couldn't help but tease. "Come on. It's after work now. Do you expect me to keep a sour face like I'm at work? Do you want me to live or not?" Lin Wanqing pouted. "Tell me quickly." Lin Wanqing could no longer contain her restless curiosity. No comment. I crossed my arms in front of my chest. "Hey." Lin Wanqing's soaring enthusiasm was instantly doused by a bucket of ice water. She glared at me angrily, her pretty little face scrunching up into a frown. "Then why did you let me ask? You're going back on your word. You're so stingy." With that, she turned away in a huff, picked up her PAD, and went back to watching her drama. The flight landed, and I arrived in the beautiful city of Xi'an. This was the city that Su Yao and I had once dreamed of together. But now I was walking alone. After collecting my luggage, I took the hotel's private shuttle and arrived at the hotel. Just as I was pulling out my room card to open the door, beep, the door of the opposite room next door, however, opened. I looked across, feeling speechless inside. Couldn't be this unlucky. Lin Wanqing and I across from each other spoke in unison. The next day, the sun was just right. I changed into casual clothes, put on sunglasses, and planned to go out for a stroll to lift my spirits. Unexpectedly, as soon as I opened the door, Lin Wanqing's face came into view. I found out everything," Lin Wanqing said with a smug expression. "As a competitor, I know every move your Su family makes like the back of my hand." "No," I responded, then walked past her without any expression on my face. "Hey, don't be mad. The Su Yao who has poor taste, picking up trash and throwing away gold." "Lin Wanqing, what exactly are you trying to say?" I stopped in my tracks, frowning as I looked at her. "What I mean is, since Su Yao doesn't want you anymore, why not be with me?" Lin Wanqing patted her chest and raised an eyebrow at me. I was a bit confused. No. Realizing her words were ambiguous, Lin Wanqing hurriedly explained that I mean joining Qinggong. With our combined strengths, we can definitely crush the Su family and make Su Yao regret it deeply. Not interested. On the beach, I looked at Lin Wanqing holding a coconut, feeling utterly speechless. I already said I'm not interested, didn't I? Your refusal was exactly what I expected. Lin Wanqing took a deep breath and said with a smile. Even Liu Bei visited Zhuge Liang 3 times. I believe I can definitely win you over. Ms. Lin, I recall you have business activities here, right? I tried to remind her with work. Right now, the most important thing for me is to recruit you. The rest can be handled by my assistant. All right, enough about work. Let's just relax. Lin Wanqing pulled out a large water gun from somewhere and started spraying me wildly. In the days that followed, Wherever I went, I would see Lin Wanqing, as if she had installed a GPS tracker on me. I wandered through the ancient city's mottled stone-paved alleys, and Lin Wanqing followed behind me, carrying a small backpack, holding an ice cream cone, and bouncing along as my tour guide. I climbed to the mist-shrouded mountain top, and even though Lin Wanqing was panting from exhaustion, she insisted on following. Once we reached the summit, she cheered with renewed energy. The view is absolutely stunning, and so, the two of us traveled for over half a month. Throughout the journey, she took great care of me in every way, but she never brought up the matter of me joining Qing Wang again. Beside the ends of the earth, I couldn't help but ask, Lin Wanqing, aren't you planning to keep Qing Wang Group? Are you really switching from CEO to being my tour guide? How could I not keep it? That's the empire my father built for me. Lin Wanqing put her hands on her hips, wearing an expression that said, "What are you joking about? Did you really think I was just traveling and sightseeing with you?" She pulled out her phone and waved it mysteriously in front of me. See, technology changes lives. Meetings, approvals, decisions, all arranged for the dead of night when you're fast asleep. At that moment, I seemed to notice a faint, barely visible dark circle under her eyes. "Hey, Linny, let's go watch a puppet show tomorrow." Lin Wanqing planned out tomorrow's itinerary, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "I've had enough fun." I shook my head. Lin Wanqing was taken aback by my words and looked at me with a hint of nervousness. I stood up and stretched. "Can't just keep playing around. Need to earn money to support the family. I wonder how Qing Wan's compensation is." Lin Wanqing froze for a moment. In the next second, her beautiful eyes widened abruptly, as if countless stars had suddenly fallen into them. "Linny, you agreed?" "Yeah," I nodded. "Huh, that's great. You can set your own terms." Lin Wanqing jumped up excitedly, like a little sprite. "Wait." Lin Wanqing suddenly realized something and pounced over fiercely. "So, you were just teasing me earlier. After I joined the company, you can't make things difficult for me." I laughed, dodging her playful attack. "That depends on your performance." Lin Wanqing pouted proudly. "By the way, we must watch the puppet show, too. I've been looking forward to it for so long." A few days later, I quietly joined the Qing Wan Group. Lin Wanqing had enthusiastically suggested holding a grand onboarding ceremony, inviting the media extensively to announce it to the world, but I firmly declined. I didn't want to attract unnecessary trouble. Lin Wanqing nodded understandingly, without the slightest reluctance, and patted her chest to assure me. "Don't worry, Linny, I know you hate those superficial social obligations. From now on, you just focus on what you're best at, designing. Turn your brilliant ideas into reality. As for those troublesome suppliers and nitpicking distributors," she waved her hand, a confident and radiant smile on her face. "This lady can handle it all." Hearing this, my heart warmed, feeling a sense of importance and care I had never received from Suyao. After joining Qing Wang, I threw myself entirely into the development of new products. Lin Wanqing gave me astonishing freedom and control, with resources allocated without any obstacles. Those brilliant ideas that Suyao had ruthlessly killed off before, citing reasons like too radical, too expensive, and users won't understand, not only found understanding here, they were finally given fertile ground to take root and grow. Inspiration flowed like a spring, and technical barriers were broken down layer by layer. I had a strong feeling that what we were creating this time would surely be a groundbreaking masterpiece capable of reshaping the industry. Just as the new product was about to be completed, I received a call from an unknown number. Su Yao's voice, filled with exhaustion, came through the line. "Linny, I know I was wrong." Before Su Yao could finish speaking, I hung up the phone directly. Seemed I'd have to change my number. The next evening, I returned to the apartment building and saw Su Yao standing there waiting for me, wearing the pale yellow long dress I had once loved the most. When she saw me, her eyes lit up, and she hurried over. "Linny, you're finally back." Su Yao smiled gently, lifting the thermos in her hand and waving it in front of me. "You haven't eaten yet, have you?" "I've been learning to cook recently." so I came over especially for you to try my skills. In a daze, I seemed to see that Su Yao from the days of passionate love. The Su Yao I loved to the core. Unfortunately, the past beauty had long been shattered bit by her own hands. President Su, if there's nothing else, please leave. My voice was as cold as ice. Hearing this, Su Yao hurriedly grabbed my hand and pleaded. Lenny, I've already fired Gu Xiao. Let's go back to how we were before. Okay. Stop using the word past to disgust me. You don't deserve to. I shook off her hand and walked toward the apartment that I was really wrong. Lenny, please forgive me. Aren't you the one who wanted to marry me the most? Let's go get our marriage certificate tomorrow. Okay. Su Yao said anxiously. No need. I looked straight into her eyes, speaking each word clearly. Su Yao, I sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for not showing up at the Civil Affairs Bureau that day. It was you who personally severed my last hesitation, allowing me to walk away without looking back. No. You love me. You love me. Su Yao repeated the words in disbelief, acting as if she had lost her mind. I didn't bother to glance at her again and closed the apartment door. For the next few days, Su Yao would wait for me at the front of the apartment, staging one melodramatic scene after another, driving me to distraction. Eventually, after I called the police, Su Yao never showed up again. Later, I gradually heard rumors. The once glorious empire of the Su family collapsed faster and more completely than I had anticipated. First, Gu Xiao, whom Su Yao had cherished as a treasure, saw several core projects he led, fully supported and promoted by Su Yao, being harshly rejected by clients. Design flaws, unfulfilled promises, and disastrous user experiences left major clients utterly disappointed, and they began switching to other companies. Enraged, she kicked Gu Chong out, but unexpectedly, after being fired, Gu Chong turned around and sold off a large amount of Su Group's undisclosed core technical parameters, commercial contract bottom prices, and even key client privacy information to competitors who had long been eyeing them with greed. In anger and regret, Su Yao took legal action, sending Gu Chong to prison and ensuring he received the punishment he deserved. But Su Group never recovered from that blow, losing its former glory forever. Later, Qing Wan, relying on my newly developed product, quickly seized the market and became the industry leader. At that moment, upon learning that I had already joined Qing Wan, Su Yao, filled with rage and desperate hopelessness, stormed into the lobby on the first floor of Qing Wan Company, screaming at the top of her lungs, "Lin Yi, you traitor!" Her voice was hoarse and shrill, carrying a deep-seated hatred. "It's you. It must be you. Scheming behind the scenes. You stood by and watched the Su family fall without lifting a finger. You ungrateful wolf in sheep's clothing. You must be thrilled to see the Su family in this state now." Harsh curses echoed through the bright, modern lobby, sounding especially harsh and insane. The news quickly reached my ears, and I immediately rushed downstairs. But I saw Lin Wanqing speaking rapidly, firing sharp, relentless words at Su Yao. You still have the nerve to call someone a traitor. Su Yao, open your eyes, you blind fool. Who was it that personally drove Lin Yi away? Who, for the sake of a useless weakling, went so far as to suppress the true backbone? Who ruined the contract by giving it to Gu Chong? Who leaked the technology to Gu Chong? It was you. It was you from beginning to end. Who gave you the audacity to come here and cause trouble? Is it just with that mouth of yours, which only knows how to shift blame, fails to appreciate kindness, and single-handedly ruins the foundation? Wake up, Su Yao. The misery you're in now is no one else's fault. Blame yourself for being blinded by greed, turning away from gold, and instead digging for stones that smell like dung in the latrine. Lin Wanqing usually treats her own people with the warmth and kindness of a gentle spring breeze. But once she turns to face an enemy, she unleashes her full presence. Fierce as a leopard, Su Yao was forced to retreat step by step under Lin Wanqing's imposing aura and presence, looking utterly disheveled, with none of the dignified air of the once powerful female she used to be. Su Yao finally flew into a rage out of humiliation and rushed toward Lin Wanqing in fury. "It must be you. You little who's behind this. Slap. I rushed out just in time and slapped Suyao across the face. Suyao was stunned by my blow, wearing an expression of disbelief. Lin, you hit me. I'm sorry, but I won't tolerate you disrespecting my new boss. I looked at Suyao as if she were a stranger. No, you wouldn't be so heartless. You used to love me so much. My words seemed to drain all the strength from Suyao, leaving her slumped on the ground, sobbing. At that moment, she finally understood this man, whom she had taken for granted, who had always been willing to bow to her brilliance. The man she had pushed away, trampled on his dignity, and only realized his worth after losing him, had completely left her. How was it? Did my little rant just now help you feel better? Back in the office, Lin Wanqing rushed to me like a child who had just won a fight, her eyes sparkling with excitement, eager to claim credit. You mustn't do that again. Who knows if Suyao might go crazy and hurt you, I said, my tone slightly scolding. I'm sorry, but I'll dare to do it again next time. Lin Wanqing made a pouty, aggrieved expression while saying the defiant words. I really couldn't handle this little witch, so I prepared to leave, but unexpectedly, Lin Wanqing blocked the doorway. She put her hands behind her back, deliberately tilting her head, winking with those eyes that seemed to have hooks, and dragging out her words. Director Lin, I helped you get such a big revenge. Don't you even plan to thank me? Looking at her face drawing near, with that expression of hurry up and tell me I want a reward. I was momentarily at a loss for words, pondering how to respond. It seemed any material token of gratitude would feel too tacky and distant. Just as I slightly furrowed my brow, before I had a chance to speak, Lin Wanqing's sly smile deepened a bit. She suddenly rose slightly on her tiptoes, her cheeks slightly flushed, leaned close to my ear, and whispered in a tone only the two of us could hear, carrying a hint of barely noticeable nervousness and an extremely rare seriousness. How about you just be with me? She quickly added, her voice low and soft, like a feather brushing over the heart's lake. In a personal sense, 3 months later, Lin Wanqing and I smoothly obtained our marriage certificate. At home in the evening, Lin Wanqing lazily curled up on the sofa, handling work matters, when she suddenly laughed out loud. Tsk. Guess what kind of business just came knocking? She handed over the tablet, and on the screen was a takeover request from the Su Group with an absurdly low offer. The additional condition was actually to have Suyao serve as my special assistant. Why won't she give up? I raised an eyebrow. It's all because my husband is too outstanding. What should we do? Lin Wanqing blinked, her eyes sparkling with mischief. I took out my phone and pulled up the photo of our marriage certificate that we kept on the bedside table. Send this to her. Lin Wanqing's eyes curved into a playful expression. Good idea. Her fingers moved swiftly as she sent the email. A few seconds later, she suddenly pulled me close, quickly gave me a smack on the lips, and at the same time raised her phone to snap a photo. Let me add one more real-time sweet close-up for her. After hearing the stories above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you like this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.